3, this message is for you, for this energy of this week, and in next week. Next week we can't speak. Okay, there's no pop up there. Interesting. Damn, this Woman of Sorrows keeps popping out. I'm not saying that's what you've got coming for you. Damn, what's all this? Okay. There's some overlapping energies in some of these cards. Yeah, a lot of cards wanted to come out. Oh wow, you're like in for like a looks like a bit of a roller coastery. Kind of overlaps with the December path to growth thing that I did for you too. Okay, let me just look at this. Okay, so for your energy, I have the Empress and Temperance. I don't know why, but this combo almost to me says ego check. Not that all threes are egotistical, but the Empress is like, the Empress is like kind of in other decks, she's like the one with the big mommy milkers, the very two-y, mothery muse kind of abundance card, and this one she kind of almost looks like, probably only if you're over a certain age you'll get this reference, but like Gem in the Holograms. It's like what would she say, like when Jericho would like project as Gem, like she'd become a pop star and then no one knew her true identity. This weirdly does tie into last week, so I feel like last week it was like you were like achieving something, but it like almost required some sort of mask sacrifice, like you had to sort of be more who you really are, like more honest, or kind of let down that image construction. And now this is like, I feel like with the Temperance, which is, you know, like balance, like middle path sort of, I almost feel like it's like, I don't want to say like slipping into old patterns, but I almost get this vibe of like, yeah, you need like an ego check, or like check yourself before you wreck yourself. You know what? Actually, that's kind of the overall vibe that I'm getting from this reading. It's like if you had a recent fall from grace, or if you've had a recent, and then you made a comeback, or you've had some sort of big win. It's like, don't don't get like too high on your own supply. Don't like lose that humility, and don't if you did have some kind of win, it's like don't take it for granted, like because as you can see, it's like this card's a little bit different than some of the other decks, but it's like she's kind of pouring out her water. She's not really doing the thing you're supposed to do with Temperance, which is like, you know, flowing back and forth, balance, like non-duality. It's like this sort of dance. She's like kind of just pouring it out, and she's like, well, she's like, I don't know, like checking out her butt, it almost looks like, or she's like checking out what's in the water. It's like she's not even paying attention. She's just like, like, I'm the winner. So I feel like, yeah, it's a check yourself before you wreck yourself spread for you this week, Enneagram 3. Because we have 5 of Cups and 7 of Swords. So yes, Our Lady of Sorrow, Our Lady of Spilled Milk. This is also kind of a shame card. It's like someone who can only see failure. So even if you've had some kind of win, um, God, um, maybe it's like, let me just keep going with this. 7 of Swords, and this is a sneaky. She's kind of, in this deck, she's kind of a sneaky mistress, but this is sort of like a gaslighting card, the 7 of Swords. It's like sneaking around, conflict avoidant, trying to get what you want without anybody realizing it. I don't know if this is somebody else doing this to you, or if this is you doing it. It's like, this is an unfolding, so bear with me. Ace of Wands, King of Wands. So this is the new opportunity, or the new you. They came out together. I want to say this is almost like a new you. It's like whatever this like thing that happened recently, this like achievement, or this like second chance, or this opportunity, whatever this thing was, it's like you're becoming a whole new you. The king of the castle. But it's like this energy of like, hell yeah, but with this in between it. So it's like, again, I'm just getting this vibe of like, don't get too big for your own britches. Don't check yourself before you wreck yourself. Like, yes, things are good. Things are starting to go better, but like, don't fall into self-sabotage. Seven of Swords is also self-sabotage. If it's not like you sabotaging someone else, it's self-sabotage. Because Swords is mental. So it can be overthinking fears coming up, especially like this kind of fear of failure, fear of loss, fear of abandonment, of rejection, losing everything, scarcity. Um, and cups is emotional and relationships, and swords is mental. It's all, it's also like social standing, I would say swords is, because it's very like society oriented. It's like academic, it's um civilization, it's intelligence, it's how you're seen by colleagues kind of. It's like your achievements. It's not really like like pentacles is like stuff paying off, you know what I mean? Like the physical manifestations of your dreams, and wands is passion, ambition, and career. And this is also like your intellectual, like how what people think about you, what you think about yourself. um and yeah, again, like intelligence, sort of like, I'm gonna say clout for swords, like because it does have that society thing, and it's kind of an activist card too. It's sort of like your social image on some level. So I feel like there might be this fear coming up for you about like, I don't know. It's like you're hiding something from other people. It's like you have these things that are working out for you, but there's something going on behind the scenes, like emotionally, um, or just like that's coming up for you. Like, so yeah, again, like check yourself before you wreck yourself, because it's like you've got like good things going on right now. You are becoming the person you were always meant to be. You're finally getting somewhere with your efforts. Like maybe like your dick's getting hard. Like things are starting to come together. Your passions come back to you. Your virality, your vitality, or your virility, virality, maybe virality too. Maybe fire. Maybe that's why your wand's on fire. Watch. Maybe don't put it anywhere spicy. Maybe she's Lorena Bobbitt energy, actually. Maybe this is. You know what? That just came out of nowhere, so maybe don't fuck any yogurts this week. Because this could be a silent killer, you know what I mean? This could be which one is that? Is that gonorrhea? I see one of the other cards. I see this card in one of the other decks is almost like digital gonorrhea. So it could, you know what? It could be almost that. Like things are going great, but there's something going on behind the scenes that makes you feel a little bit ashamed of yourself, or you're not happy about it. I don't know. It could be a painfully fired up wand. Wear a condom. And if it's not like a physical manifestation, maybe it's like a wear a condom spiritually. Wear a condom of integrity. You know what I mean? Don't get too messy. Don't get too carried away with your lust for your power, your invincibility, your new invincibility feeling, because it's not, invincibility is not true, right? So just be mindful of any patterns that could like, probably more so if you're a three wing four than a three wing two. So you've got that self-destructive wing four. And again, it's like this kind of almost roller coaster energy. We have then we have the Ten of Wands and the Ace of Swords. So this is like the ending. Usually like this Ten of Wands is like the burden. It's like carrying the burden of like all of the passion in the career. It's like burnout, right? It's like you've been putting in the time, you've been putting in the effort, you've been putting in the energy. Now you're at the end, but you're like so fucking burned out. And this girl, this is like, or maybe it's a man, a girlish man. Um, I think it's man. It's like a very dramatic burnout. Like it's very Um, I want to be alone. So it could be like it could almost be this like back and forth energy of like shining and then receding and just like shining, put on the face and then receding. And with Ace of Swords, this could be a new beginning. This could be like the new thing. Like it could be a new thing coming to you in the next like week or two, or it could be the thing that's already maybe been in the periphery. But maybe you're just feeling so burned out and just so over it and just so like exhausted that it's almost like hard to even like seize the new opportunity or see the like excitement in it because especially as it's I want to say it has to do with your social image again, like even if you're not a social type, just I don't know, I'm getting social from the swords right off this reading. um it's like an image. Well, I guess you are a three, so that would make sense. But it's almost like how people see you. It's like I feel like there's something coming in that will like raise your clout, that will raise your like, or this thing is like that's come in is like raising. It's like all about like kind of like pushing you up the ladder, if you will, and how people see you, your accolades, like how they think like they see you as an authority. Yeah, this is where I'm going with it. But you're feeling like just so like just make it end. Again, it's kind of like a seesaw that I feel like you're almost having to balance like this feeling of success and profound like just you could it could even be like these things are happening for you but you're like drinking a lot or um pill popping or um yeah, I guess I just get this undercurrent of like success but self-destruction at the same time. It's like I think it's almost like if you've been going through a rebirth period, an identity rebirth, a new level, that it's just like catching up to you or something, like the all of the emotional, because threes can put stuff, not to say that threes bury their emotions, but they can numb themselves out even if they don't think they are, and then it comes to catch up with them, right? And that's actually what this feels like. It's like everything's catching up with you, like the successes and the like emotional, just you know and that's also what Four of Cups. I mean, Four of Cups is like a kind of a stagnant card. It's like I'm over it. I don't like any of the options. um it's kind of a four-ish. It's kind of a four-wing three-ish card, especially with this pose. Just like suffering. But that's actually interesting because it's like he's got four totally full cups here, but he's just having himself a little sad day on the picnic blanket, turning inward. I feel like this might just be kind of like almost like this is you at the end of like whatever's going on where you're just like I mean, we are getting close to the end of the year, so I think that sometimes that can lead to burnout where it can be like, we'll just get to Christmas, we'll just get to the holidays. Um, but there's a castle in the background, there's a white horse, there's full cups, there's wine. Oh no, why did all of these come out? Well, you're getting a lot more cards than well, I'll just roll with it. Okay, wow, this weirdly reflects it. I mean, not weirdly because these are clarification cards basically, and elaboration. So Venom, uh, this kind of mirrors this sort of undercurrent, um, and I do think this speaks to it's almost like self-sabotage, self-poisoning. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know how many threes have like addiction problems, like even if they're like not really conscious of them, you know what I mean? But it could be like this kind of self-poisoning is catching up with you this week. If you've been sort of like on the treadmill and succeeding and things are starting to break through, and then an addiction can come in other forms too. It doesn't necessarily mean like booze or pills or whatever. It can mean any self-soothing thing that becomes a crutch that you can't like do without, where even that can even be procrastination. That can be self-numbing. That can be like, just sitting watching 8 hours of Netflix instead of doing what you're supposed to do. So it could lead to this cycle of like not sleeping and overworking, or like drinking a lot and then or pill popping, and then you're not even like present with like what you're even like doing. Um, and the empty room is kind of like a hungry ghost card, filling the void. So yeah, really do get there. You know what? I really do see this as like there's a self-sabotaging coping mechanism or pattern or something coming up for you this week and next week to be healed, that you need to like be present with, so that it doesn't like fuck you over in this big change that you've had or this path that you're on, the flame. So, it's sort of shutting out shutting out everything and focusing on what feeds your spirit, what lights you up, what you feel passionate about, that spark inside of you, that young like child inside of you that is excited for life, that life spark. It's like holding on to that and letting go of the thing that you use to fill the void, the thing that you use to numb the pain, the thing that you use to dissociate or not be with yourself. Um, and it could have been created, earlier when you were struggling, and now your successes are finally happening, or you're having a breakthrough, or you're getting to the end of your journey, or you've just started a new one that's like a big deal. And these behaviors that were created pre this new era for you, it's like they have to go. They have to go in order for you to be able to continue to move forward, I believe is what this is saying. And the poet, I love this so much. I mean, it sort of matches this, but what the message I'm getting from this is like, it's like taking all of that, all of this, and transmuting it. So whether you're a creative three, whether that's putting it into your art, like getting it outside of your body and creating with it. And if that's like a self-destruct, and if you're like more an academic three or a career three, then it could be just like taking that outside of your body, taking it and transmuting it. And like that can show up as like, okay, so I have all of these problems, and how's a way I can transmute so that I don't, it's like finding a healthier way to express the darkness. So that could be yoga, Pilates, that could be a spiritual practice, that could be meditation, if you're not into like writing or drawing or express like music or something, but getting it out, draining the venom, draining the poison, draining the addiction, draining the coping mechanism. It needs to go. As I think the big message from this spread is like that, it needs to go. If you want to hold on to like these things, like it's got to go.